Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome back to Needs of Children. In this session, we are going to get the information about 9th standard social science, English medium, political science, chapter number 3, state government. Let's come to what are the very important learning points from this lesson. In this chapter, you will learn the nature of the state legislature, the legislative assembly, nothing but called as Vidhana Sabha, and legislative council called as Vidhana Parishattu, their membership and functions. The nature of state executive, the governor, his qualifications and functions. The appointment of the chief minister and his functions. Let's come to the introduction for the lesson, the state government. The Union of India comprises of 28 states and 8 union territories. Among that, the state governments follow the model of the central government and thus have the three important organs of the government. They are called as legislature, executive and judiciary. Even the state government has the power to frame laws on the subjects which will come under the state list and implement them. As regarding about this state list, as I have told in the previous lesson, that is the three important subjects, they are called as central list, state list and concurrent list. Central list, which will come under the union government, it has to be take the responsibility by central government only, and state list, the state sub governments will has to be take the responsibility. Concurrent list, both the governments, state government as well as central government has to be take the responsibility. Here state list subject matters will come under the state government. Regarding about that, they have to be frame the laws. Some states have two houses, like in the parliament. Parliament, it has two houses like lower house and upper house. In the same way, some states, not all the states, some states have two houses, whereas some other states they have only the lower house, that is legislative assembly. Here, according to the article number 171, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, these states they have bicameral legislatures or bicameral houses like in the parliament. So let's come to we are going to be get about our Karnataka state legislature as well as other states. The state legislature is composed the governor and two houses, upper house and lower house. The upper house is called as the legislative council, nothing but Vidhana Parishattu, and the lower house is called as the legislative assembly, nothing but it is called as Vidhana Sabha. You can identify that is green carpet is known as the legislative assembly. Here it is red in carpet, that is called as legislative council. Whereas the legislative assembly has representatives of the people, whereas the legislative council has representatives from various fields. For legislative assembly, the representatives are directly elected by the people, whereas legislative council, they are representatives from various fields. Let's come to the concept about Vidhana Sabha, nothing but lower house. The strength of Vidhana Sabha depends on the population of the state. Anyhow, the maximum number of seats of any Vidhana Sabha should not exceed 500 or below 60. However, the governor can nominate one member from Anglo-Indian community. He feels that they are not represented properly. However, the number of seats in small states is less. Like example of Mizoram and in Goa, Vidhana Sabha itself is a 40 members. So that is the reason some of the states does not contains two houses. So whereas come to the part of our Karnataka, the Vidhana Sabha has 225 members. Out of 225, 224 members are elected, whereas one Anglo-Indian is nominated by the governor. Then what are the qualifications are required to become the member of Legislative Assembly? Should be a citizen of India, should have completed 25 years of age, should not be employed in any office of profit of the government, should not have been punished by any court, should not be unsound mind, should not be insolvent, should possess the qualifications as decided by the parliament from time to time. So these are the qualifications required for a legislative assembly member or the member of Vidhana Sabha or legislative assembly. Then the term of office of the Vidhana Sabha is the members of legislative assembly elected for the term of 5 years. However, the assembly may dissolve before the expiry of the 5 years or full term on the recommendation of the cabinet. At the time, the state will be under the president's rule in case of if legislative assembly or Vidhana Sabha dissolved before the expiry of the government. At that time, state will come under the control of president's rule. If the members do not intend to continue in the assembly, they should submit their resignation to the speaker. Even there will be a speaker and deputy speaker will be elected from among the elected members of the assembly. So whereas the proceedings of the house are carried on under the chairmanship of the speaker. He has the functions of maintaining the peace, dignity and decorum of the house, summoning and postponing the meetings. If it is called, the meeting can be postponed. If it is preponed, even he has the power to cancel meetings. Safeguard the rights of the members, legislative assembly members. Casting the decisive vote when the bills receive equal number of votes supporting the opposition, supporting and opposing them. So that is will and wish to speaker. So these are the some of the functions like casting the voting decisive. For example, if legislative assembly prepared the bill got equal votes during the time, speaker vote will be make a decisive role. And in the absence of speaker, deputy speaker will take the responsibility as a role. So this is about the terms, office of the legislative assembly, speaker and deputy speaker. Let's come to the what are the powers and functions of the legislative assembly. Among that, legislative powers. The legislative assembly has the power to frame laws relating to the subjects mentioned in the state list and concurrent list. The bills have to be passed by both the houses before they are sent to the governor for his signature. Both the houses has to be accept. After the acceptation of the both the houses, then it is sent it to the governor for his approval or for his signature. Then governor may send certain bills to the president for his approval. After the approval of the governor or president, the bill converted into as a law. So this is about the legislative powers. And the next, financial powers. Whereas the legislative assembly has greater power than the legislative council in the matters of finance. The finance bill has to be first presented in the legislative assembly and only then in the legislative council. Other bills can be present either in legislative assembly or in legislative council, but financial bill has to be first presented in legislative assembly only. Then after, though the legislative council does not have the power to reject any financial bill, it can be delay it for 14 days. If Vidhana Parishattu or Legislative Council fails to send bill within 14 days, it is assumed as passed and forwarded to the governor for his approval. Especially for financial bill, it is prepared by Legislative Assembly, then it is sent it to Legislative Council. They have to replay within 14 days. In case of if they are not replayed within 14 days, it is understood that Legislative Council has been accepted that bill. Then after that bill directly send it to the governor for his approval. So these are about the financial powers. And the next about administrative powers. The state executive is responsible to Legislative Assembly and can be in power only as long as it enjoys the trust of the Legislative Assembly. Overall administrative powers in the hands of Legislative Assembly. Each member of the Council of Ministers is individual accountable, either Financial Minister, Education Minister, Health Minister, Home Minister. They are responsible for their individually accountable Council of Ministers, and the whole Council of Ministers is accountable to the Legislative Assembly. So these are some of the very important administrative powers of the Legislative Assembly. Electoral power. What are the electoral powers are having by Legislative Assembly? The elected members of Legislative Assembly has the power to participate in the elections of, like, elect the President, members of the Rajya Sabha and Legislative Council, Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Assembly. In these elections they are going to be participate. So these are the electoral powers. Apart from these powers, there will be some of the other powers, like the members of the Legislative Assembly discuss bills passed by the Parliament when the need arises. The reports of the State Public Service Commission, like UPSC, like SPSC, State Public Service Commission, and other reports are discussed in the Legislative Assembly. So these are some of the other powers of Legislative Assembly. So this is about the powers and functions of the Legislative Assembly. Let's come to the next one, Legislative Council. Nothing but it is called as the Vidhana Parishad. The upper house of the state legislature is called as the Legislative Council. The strength of this house is 1/3 of that of the Legislative Assembly of state. 1/3. So however, it should not be less than 40. So this is the reason why some states do not have a legislative council. While we are discussing about Legislative Assembly, we saw that some of the states like Mizoram and Goa, there have Legislative Assembly itself is a 40 members. But to form the Legislative Council, it needs to be 1/3 of the Legislative Assembly. That is the reason some states do not have Legislative Council. The numbers of members of Karnataka Legislative Council is 75. These members represent 5 areas. Some are elected from among the members of the Legislative Assembly, local bodies, graduate constituencies, teachers constituencies. The governor nominates some members who are experts in the field of art, literature, education, social services, science, etc. So the Legislative Council is called as the permanent body. It cannot be dissolved like Vidhana Sabha, because those who are crossed their term of 6 years, again the new member will be elected. So that is the reason Vidhana Parishad is called as the permanent body. So let's come to the what are the qualifications are to become member of Legislative Councils. MLCS should be a citizen of India, should have completed 30 years of age, should possess all qualifications are required for member of Legislative Assembly. To become as a member of Legislative Assembly, those are all the qualifications are required to become the member of Legislative Council. So the term of office of Legislative Council is 6 years. Every 2 years of the members of Legislative Council retired. Every 2 years, those who are completed 6 years, they will be retired. Speaker and the Deputy Speaker are chosen among the members. Usually, the Speaker assumes the chairmanship during the proceedings of the House and ensures dignity and decorum of the House. Let's come to the what are the some powers and functions of the Legislative Council. Some of the legislative powers. All bills may be presented in both the House except money bill, except financial bill, which has presented first only in Legislation Assembly. After the bill is approved by one House, either it is in Legislative Assembly or in Legislative Council, it is sent to the other House. The Legislative Council can be withhold a bill for 3 months, whereas financial bill it is only for 14 days. It is for 14 days can be withheld, whereas other bills it can be withheld up to 3 months. However, when the same bill is sent by the Legislative Assembly for the second time, that means after the 3 months, the council should approve it within 1 month. In the second time, it has to be give the response within 1 month. If it does not do so, it will be understood that both the houses have approved the bill and it will be sent it to the governor for his assent. First time it can be withheld up to 3 months. In a second time it can be withheld up to 1 month. If it is not responded within 1 month, Legislative Assembly understood that they have been approved and it is sent it to the governor for his assent. So that is about the legislative powers of Legislative Council. And here some of the financial powers. The Legislative Assembly has greater powers over finance than the Legislative Council, which can only withhold a financial bill for 14 days, because a financial bill will be presented only in the prepared by only in the Legislative Assembly, whereas Legislative Council it can be withhold the financial bill for up to 14 days. If it does not return the bill after the 14 days, it is understood that both the houses have been approved and then the bill will be sent it to the governor for his approval. So these are the financial powers of the Legislative Council. Next, administrative powers of the Legislative Council. The Legislative Council does not have much control over the administration. It can obtain the information by posing questions to the ministers. If the questions are not answered by properly, it can only insist on the minister's resignation, but it cannot be no confidence motion. About the no confidence motion, I have given the information in previous lesson related to union government. Once go through that information, no confidence motion. They can ask resignation, but they cannot go against the minister to a no confidence motion. So these are administrative powers of Legislative Council. So discretion powers, discretion nothing but other powers. The Legislative Council carries on debates about the government's programs, policies, decisions and acts which are undertaken by the government. So that is the reason this Legislative Council is called as the House of Elders. The debates are carried on in a very serious manner because of it is a House of Elders. So any matters it will be takes very serious. So these are the other powers of the Legislative Council. So these are the powers of Legislative Council. And now how the process of creation of an act, how the bills will be takes place, bills how it will be converted into as a law, the process of creation of an act. In the first reading, if a person, one who is prepared the bill, either it is related to education, either it is a health department, home minister, whosoever it is, those who are prepared their bill, the first reading, the person who tables the bill reads out the text loudly. That is the first reading. During the second reading, a discussion take place or the bill may send to respective House committee. The committee deliberates on the bill and submits its reports to the Legislative House. The House can either approve or reject the bill after the discussion. During the third reading, the House can discuss the bill orally. After the approval, the bill would be sent to the other House. If this House also completes all the procedures, the bill is sent for Governor's approval. If the Governor approves, then the bill becomes as an act. The Governor may also forward it to the President for approval. So this is the process of creation of an act. That's it about today's session. I hope you have understood the concepts till now what we are discussed. In case of if you having any doubts related to these concepts, you can comment in the comment box. I will solve your doubts. And I will come back with the next video. Until keep watching my channel. Thank you. Bye bye. See you in the next session. Take care.